In the early hours of February 17, 2003, one of the most sophisticated and daring robberies in modern history took place in the heart of Europe, inside a building that was considered nearly impossible to break into. A place protected by layers of advanced security systems, constant surveillance, and some of the most valuable assets on Earth, and yet, in just 25 minutes, a group of criminals managed to walk away with diamonds worth over $100 million without triggering a single alarm. This was not luck. This was not coincidence. This was years of planning executed with near perfection. The location was the Antwerp Diamond Center in Antwerp, a global hub for the diamond trade where billions of dollars in gemstones pass through every year. The building itself was a fortress, equipped with state-of-the-art security systems that included infrared heat detectors, seismic sensors capable of detecting even the slightest vibration, magnetic fields designed to sense interference, and a vault door reinforced to withstand extreme force. On top of that, there were multiple locks, including a key system, a combination lock, and a time lock mechanism that made unauthorized access virtually impossible. To the outside world, this vault was untouchable. But one man saw it differently. His name was Leonardo Notarbartolo, an Italian criminal with a calm demeanor, sharp intelligence, and an unusual level of patience for someone in his line of work. Unlike typical thieves who rely on speed and brute force, he believed in preparation, observation, and precision. He understood something most people overlook, that every system, no matter how advanced, has weaknesses, and those weaknesses can only be found by studying the system over time. So he did exactly that. He didn't rush into the heist. He didn't gather a team and attack blindly. Instead, he embedded himself inside the system he planned to break. He rented an office in the same building as the vault, posing as a legitimate diamond merchant. To everyone around him, he was just another businessman going about his daily routine. He greeted people, built trust, and blended in seamlessly. No one suspected that he was quietly gathering information that would later be used to carry out one of the most precise robberies ever recorded. For months, he and his team studied everything. They analyzed security camera placements and identified blind spots. They observed the routines of guards and noted the timing of their patrols. They examined how employees accessed the vault and how the security systems responded to normal activity. Nothing was overlooked. Every detail mattered. One of the most critical challenges was the vault itself. It wasn't just one layer of protection but multiple layers working together. Even if someone managed to bypass one system, the others would still prevent access. It was designed to be redundant, to eliminate any single point of failure. But that's where the genius of the plan came in. Instead of trying to break through all the layers at once, they focused on understanding each layer individually. They didn't try to overpower the system. They learned how it worked, and then they quietly found ways around it. At some point during their preparation, they managed to gain access to the vault area long enough to create a mold of the key used for one of the locks. This alone required precision and timing, as any mistake could have exposed them. With that mold, they later created a perfect duplicate key, one that would allow them to open the vault without forcing entry. This was not a smash-and-grab operation. This was a surgical strike. By the time February 16th turned into February 17th, everything was in place. The team was ready. Every movement had been rehearsed. Every risk had been calculated. They chose a weekend, when activity in the building would be minimal, reducing the chances of interruption. That night, they entered the building as if they belonged there. There were no signs of forced entry. No broken locks. No alarms triggered. They moved through the corridors with confidence, heading straight for the vault area. The first obstacle was the surveillance system. Cameras were positioned throughout the building, but the team already knew where the blind spots were. They had studied them for months. Moving carefully, they avoided direct visibility, staying just out of reach of the camera lenses. Next came the infrared sensors, designed to detect body heat and movement. These sensors were highly sensitive, capable of picking up even slight changes in temperature. But the team had prepared for this. They used specialized materials to mask their heat signatures, effectively making themselves invisible to the system. Then came the magnetic sensors, which would trigger an alarm if any tampering was detected. Once again, they didn't disable the system in a way that would raise suspicion. They neutralized it carefully, maintaining the appearance that everything was functioning normally. Step by step, they moved deeper into the security layers, each time avoiding detection, each time getting closer to the vault. When they finally stood in front of the vault door, they were facing what many believed was an impenetrable barrier. The door was massive, reinforced, and protected by multiple locking mechanisms. But for them, it was just another step in a plan that had already accounted for this moment. Using the duplicated key and the correct combination, they opened the vault without triggering any alarms. There was no explosion, no dramatic entry. Just a quiet click as the door unlocked. Inside the vault were hundreds of safety deposit boxes, each containing valuables of immense worth. Diamonds, gold, jewelry, cash, all stored securely by clients who believed their assets were untouchable. The team didn't panic. They didn't rush blindly. They worked with precision, selecting specific boxes that they knew would yield the highest value. They avoided unnecessary actions that could slow them down or increase risk. In just 25 minutes, they managed to collect an estimated $100 million worth of diamonds and other valuables. And then, just as quietly as they had entered, they left. No alarms had been triggered. No guards had been alerted. No immediate signs of the robbery were visible. It was as if the vault had been opened and closed by its rightful owners. When the crime was discovered, it sent shockwaves through the global diamond industry. Investigators were stunned. How could such a secure facility be breached so completely without any obvious signs of forced entry? How could a system designed to prevent exactly this type of crime fail so completely? The investigation began immediately. Authorities examined the vault, the security systems, and the building itself, trying to piece together what had happened. At first, there were very few clues. The crime scene was clean. The thieves had left almost nothing behind. But then, a mistake. Miles away from the crime scene, in a wooded area, a bag was discovered. Inside it were items linked to the robbery, tools, gloves, and other materials that should have been disposed of more carefully. This single oversight provided investigators with the evidence they needed to begin tracing the crime back to those responsible. From there, the pieces started to fall into place. Forensic analysis revealed fingerprints and DNA traces. Surveillance footage, previously overlooked, was re-examined. Connections were made. And eventually, all leads pointed to one man. Leonardo Notarbartolo was arrested and charged in connection with the heist. During the trial, details of the operation began to emerge, revealing the incredible level of planning and execution that had gone into the crime. However, despite the arrests and convictions, one mystery remains unsolved. Most of the diamonds were never recovered. To this day, their whereabouts are unknown. Some believe they were sold on the black market, slowly and quietly to avoid detection. Others believe they are still hidden, waiting to be discovered. The truth is, no one knows for sure. What makes this story so powerful is not just the amount of money involved, but the method used to obtain it. This was not a crime driven by chaos or desperation. It was a calculated operation that demonstrated how even the most advanced systems can be compromised if someone is willing to invest the time and effort to understand them. The Antwerp Diamond Heist forced a complete re-evaluation of security protocols in high-value facilities around the world. It exposed vulnerabilities that had previously been overlooked and highlighted the importance of not just relying on technology, but also considering human factors and procedural weaknesses. It also serves as a reminder that intelligence and patience can be far more effective than force. The thieves didn't need to break the vault. They simply learned how to open it. And yet, despite its near-perfect execution, the heist was not flawless. One small mistake, one moment of carelessness, led to the unraveling of the entire operation. It's a powerful lesson that even the most detailed plans can be undone by a single oversight. As you think about this story, consider what it represents. It's not just about crime. It's about strategy, psychology, and the way systems can be understood and manipulated. It's about the thin line between success and failure, and how easily that line can be crossed. Because in the end, this heist was both a masterpiece and a failure. It succeeded in achieving its immediate goal, but it failed to remain completely hidden. It proved that perfection is incredibly difficult to maintain, especially when so many variables are involved. And maybe that's what makes it so fascinating. If you enjoy real stories like this, stories that go beyond the surface and reveal the deeper truth behind major events, then this channel is for you. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, because there are many more stories just like this, stories that will change the way you see the world. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think. Was this the perfect heist, or was it always destined to fail because of human error? I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you found this story interesting, share it with someone who enjoys mysteries, strategy, and real-world events, because sometimes, the truth is far more unbelievable than fiction. Follow for more true events.